I was looking for a backpack that I could use as a daily carry, plus for carrying all of my camera gear when I'm out filming. Towards that end, I picked up very different backpacks. The Wandrd PRVKE 11 liter and 31 liter, which are dedicated camera bags, and the Evergoods Civic Panel Loader 24, which is more of a general carry bag that you can just use for whatever. I'm not going to do a very in-depth review of these bags. I'm not going to go into details about the materials necessarily. There are a lot of great YouTubers that do that, like Chase Reeves. But what I figured I could do was give a little bit of my thought process on how I went about choosing a backpack. As someone who works full-time in an office job and does the filming YouTube thing very sparingly, maybe this could help since I spent a ton of time thinking about it. So what I'll do is talk about the things I was looking for in a bag, the size of the bag, the ability to quickly access camera gear, the usefulness of the bag for other situations other than filming, and finally just the general look, and ultimately talk about why I chose the Evergoods CPL24 and give a couple examples of how I could load it out with accessories to meet my use case. Let's start by talking about what I was looking for in a new bag. I would argue that this is the best combination if you're running through airports or moving between hotels or Airbnbs. You've got plenty of space for all the clothes you could need. You've got the camera quickly at hand, which is the biggest benefit of a sling. You can just reach in and grab it. Now the problem with this setup though is that it gets heavy once you start loading it with camera gear. I've got a Sony a7C with Tamron 28-70. That's heavy. That's a heavy combination, and after a while, your shoulder really starts feeling the strain. The sling was only so useful, especially if I wanted to carry a monopod or a tripod, or honestly just wanted space for a jacket. Criteria number one was the size of the bag. Even though I wanted something bigger than a sling, I didn't want something that was huge and bulky, and ideally it could be used as a personal item, which is what drew me to the Peak Design 11 liter pack. This thing is pretty compact. I really appreciated the silhouette of the bag being thin, and it doesn't bulk out. You can't really put that much in it to bulk it out. And it's well within the range of a personal item, and I don't think that you would get stopped by most flights for carrying this bag. But that is a double-edged sword because 11 liters with a dedicated camera compartment, which we'll talk about in a minute, does not leave a ton of room for anything else. All of your extra space is in this roll top, which cannot accommodate a ton, which is why I also ordered the 31 liter version of the bag. This was in case I decided, hey, I'm only ever gonna one bag travel and I just want a bag that is a camera bag and my travel bag in one. I think this thing is just beyond being the size of a personal item. That being said, it's got a huge roll top. I mean, this thing is massive. You could easily fit a couple days of clothes in here, as well as fit all of the camera stuff you could need. This was my plan B if I decided, hey, forget the 2-bag carry, I just want one big one. Now the wild card choice in all of this was this Evergoods Civic Panel Loader 24. For you backpack heads out there, this is one of the holy grail bags for folks who are looking for everyday carries. I picked up the burnt orange during the sale. In terms of size, this is 24 liters, so right in between the 11 liters and the 31. Now the other interesting thing, even though it looks kind of big, this bag technically is just within the personal item size limit for most airlines. And if I actually put the Wandrd 11 liter right next to it, it's definitely smaller if you compress this roll top all the way, but not so much that it's a dramatic difference. The other benefit is that the Evergoods actually can compress quite a bit. If I wanted to, this thing can almost go flat. Whereas the Wandrd 11 liter, you can't compress this. This thing is extremely structured. So these two bags could be used as personal items if I wanted. So the next requirement was the ability to use these bags as quick access for camera gear. Obviously the Wandrd series are bags that are made for filmers and photographers. This is like the YouTuber starter pack backpack. The first thing I'll call out is the quick access pocket. This is actually something I was very specifically looking at because I wanted something I could easily pull the camera out from. And so you've got this little quick access here that's built in directly to the camera cubes, which is awesome. It's something I've never had. I've never had a dedicated camera bag. So what that means is when you have this camera on your back, you can sling it over one shoulder, unzip that side pocket, grab your camera, and then use it for whatever you want to use it for. The other big benefit of this bag, of course, is that you've got this dedicated camera cube space built into the pack. You can fit almost the same amount of gear in the 11 liter with their built-in cube system as you can with the removable cube for the 31 liter. It's wild. But I could put the big camera in this pocket over here. I can fit the ZV-1 on the side. I can fit multiple microphones, a portable light, my wireless mic, everything can go in here. And I've got space for my laptop. So this is an excellent option for camera stuff. This bag had another feature that I was super interested in, the ability to use their accessory straps for this to basically become a table while you're on the go. If you're somewhere and you don't want to put the camera down, you can actually wear the bag on the front. The straps will keep this part suspended so that you can just fiddle around. If you have lenses, you can change lenses, do whatever you need to do quickly, close it up, and then be on your way. Now the 11 liter version of the PRVKE is the only bag that has the built-in camera cube system. Every size above, the 21, this 31, and then a 41 liter, have removable cubes that you have to purchase in addition to the bag itself. I bought the Essentials Pro Cube that they recommend with the 31 liter. So you can see that the layout's pretty much the same as the 11 liter. So I'll actually have both side by side. I don't know if I can, and you can see that 31 liters definitely bigger, but it's not too different. I just think that by virtue of having the padding built into the 11 liter, they're able to use a lot more of the space for the camera stuff. You've got this pouch in both bags, which connects to the roll top, but you can use that for additional stuff like in gimbal or whatever you have that you want to throw in there. Otherwise, in terms of the use as a camera bag, the 31 liter is pretty much the same as the 11 liter. You've got the same side access, you've got the same main pocket access. So rather than get another camera bag, my thinking was to instead get a bag which excelled as an everyday carry and see if I couldn't use accessories to make that meet my needs. I don't need a camera every day. I don't do this full time. This is just a hobby. I don't even have that much camera gear. So here we have the CPL24. So what you have is a giant pocket here. It's basically one big pocket where you can put in whatever you want to put in. And they've got some organization on this front section, but what attracted me to this bag was the fact that it is built so that you can access a side while you're wearing it. And very similar to the quick access of a camera bag, except it's access to the whole pocket. So my question was, could I pair this with some external cube that would be easy enough for me to access? And so what I picked up in addition to this, Tenba 9 liter slim cube, which on Reddit I saw folks rave about, and paired it with this bag. And this Tenba fits easily into this bag with space to spare. I think actually you could even get away with a bigger camera cube if you want. But for me, this was perfect. This is less space than obviously the 11 liter or 31 liter Wandrd. I think I can get away with sticking my A7C with the 24-70 here. I can stick the ZV-1 here. And if I had another lens, I could probably fit it in one of these other pockets. I can't fit my bigger shotgun mic, and other accessories would probably need to be put in a different pouch, and honestly, not a big deal to me. With the Wandrd, you're only taking out a camera. There's no ability for you to get access to anything else in the bag from here. Having a pocket that allows me to not only access a camera, but other gear as well. And of course, there's a dedicated laptop sleeve in the same side pocket access as well. This works out really well for my use case. So next up was the usefulness of the bag for things other than the camera. And I already kind of talked about how the Civic Panel Loader is a great everyday bag. So not only can I fit a camera cube in here, this thing is just great for everything else. And I'll show off how I can load this out later in the video. Now, to be fair, the Wandrd series does have this extra space. In the 11 liter, I mentioned this before, you've got this roll top and you can stuff some stuff in here. You could definitely fit a jacket. When it's completely opened up, this thing is huge. Really gonna stick out quite a bit. If the ultimate goal is to have something that could function as a personal item, this is definitely too big for a personal item if you stuff this thing to the gills. And realistically, anything extra you'll have to put in the roll top. You can remove the dividers, which does allow you to use this for other stuff. So you can remove the dividers, and then you can actually remove this bottom section, which connects to the roll top. So basically all of the space from here all the way to the top of the roll top becomes one giant compartment. And last up in this space, the 31 liter chunky boy. Now this is actually much more useful if you have more stuff than just camera gear to carry. This thing is massive. It is a huge roll top. This is not a personal item. This is your carry-on, but there are a lot of YouTubers that use this as their single carry. So you could easily fit all of your camera gear. There's nice big water bottle pockets on the side. You've got a place to be used to hold the tripod. And this is actually a removable camera cube. So this whole thing comes out. And so actually this bag could totally be used for whatever other thing you want. But you could, in theory, put a smaller camera cube in this bag and have even more space for other stuff. But this bag does have some additional little secret pockets. It's got this pocket down here for stuff. It's got a secret pocket over behind this mesh over here. And I think there's like a key pocket on the side. There's just like a lot more storage in this bag. Oh, and one thing, because I called it out in this bag, here's the biggest drawback of the Evergoods CPL. There's no water bottle pocket. Sounds crazy, kind of annoying. I mean, for some people it's a deal breaker. And I'll talk about how I got past it. I carry my water bottle with me everywhere I go. You'd have to put it inside. And for some people that's okay. You can just kind of stuff the bag in there. And if you've got a water bottle you trust, that might be okay. I don't trust any water bottle enough. I am a clumsy person. I don't screw things properly. I would never want to risk getting expensive camera gear wet, but it would fit. I mean, if you're the kind of person who doesn't care about that, hey, YOLO. You could easily just put your water bottle in there, and of course you've got that side access, so you're good. This takes us into the final criteria, the look of the bag. The lack of pockets does allow this bag to maintain a very beautiful silhouette. I mean, I love the look of this bag. I thought I would not like the burnt orange. I initially ordered these two bags thinking that I really dug the aesthetics of the Wandrd. It's cool, it's sleek, it's a little bit different, whereas this burnt orange is a lot louder in terms of color schemes than I normally pick. But I wanted to pick something up on sale, so I grabbed the color that was on sale. After some time, about a week or two with these bags, I've really grown to appreciate this color. It's not as bright as it really seemed to me on the website. I just love the silhouette of this bag. It's sleek. It just looks great. I catch myself staring at this bag a lot. Whereas I don't love it. I don't love the look of this bag. It looks unique, but I think that makes it stand out in a way that's a little bit different than the orange of the CPL. This looks like an expensive camera bag. And honestly, just generally, this material is like this neoprene, kind of rubbery, just sort of like, you know, waxy feel, which I think is great for water resistance. I think that the Wandrd bag, from what I can tell, performs really, really well in rainy and wet situations. But it just has this gloss to it that is not my favorite. I thought I could get over the roll top thing. I can't. I don't love roll tops. I've bought roll top bags in the past and I never use them because it's just kind of a pain for me to undo it. And the zipper setup on the CPL was so much better. I feel like the 11 liter just sits kind of weird on my frame. I'm not a massive guy by any means, but I'm 5'10", 180 to 190 pounds. This bag looks real small. And I think that it looks kind of awkward on my frame. Now the 31 liter is much better for that. I do think that for the style of bag I think the bigger Wandrd PRVKE looks much better. It fits me better, and I think that it looks like a proper, almost outdoors backpack. Whereas I love how the CPL24 looks, and I love how it sits on my frame. These bags tend to sit high, which for me is actually much more comfortable, and I actually like that look. There's like an aggressive feel to a bag that really hugs you and sits high. So at the end of the day, I've decided I'm going to keep the CPL24, the Civic Panel Loader 24. Now, let's talk about ways that I feel like I can make this bag work for me. Okay, so I got some stuff here and I figured we could load out everything that I would typically need for just a quick weekend away if I wanted everything inside this 24-liter bag. And I think we could do it. So I've got my camera cube. This thing is not really full right now. I'll actually leave it empty just to show that I can fit other stuff in here, but let's assume that my big camera goes in this big pocket right here. The ZV-1 would go right over here, and I would probably stick, I don't know, I would stick my microphone in here. You could probably fit a couple things in here, but let's assume that's it, and let's close it up. Before we go into the other tech, let's do clothes. So what I think I would do was take something like an extra pair of pants, and just stick it in this main compartment along with the toiletries pack. So that very easily just fits in right up here. And if I zip this up for a minute, and we're gonna open it up again, I wanna take a look at that side compartment again, where the laptop goes. Against the rest of the pack, you've got what is the laptop compartment, and I'll actually go ahead and slide that in right now. So that's in. So that's got a false bottom, that's secure. But there's also an additional amount of gusseted space in this bag. And after a little bit of sleuthing online, I found folks that recommended this Eagle Creek garment envelope. And so this thing is made for you to sort of fold clothes a little bit wider and flatter. And what I have in this cube are 2 t-shirts, 2 pairs of underwear, and 2 pairs of socks. But what this can do is very easily slide in right back here. So if I close this up, what I now have is a pair of jeans, my toiletries, 2 t-shirts, 2 pairs of underwear, and 2 pairs of socks, and my main camera bodies. So what I got left are a couple of knickknacks. So let's see if we can find a spot for those. I've got the shotgun mic, which I mentioned I could not fit in my cube before. That very easily just kind of fits in right here on the side. I've got this little portable light, which we've got this little pocket right here. Let's just stuff this in there for now. And actually, I could probably fit, here's some camera batteries. Let's put that in here as well. And I'll zip this up. I think this tech pouch, let's see if that fits in the front, because this has a ton of internal organization, but I prefer to use pouches. So I could probably slide that in. That fit perfectly. And then I've got my AirPods, which are a necessity. So let's actually close up the main compartment now. And we'll also close up this front pocket. And then for my AirPod, there's a little pocket right up here. I don't know if you can see on this camera. I know it's very close. But this thing is nice and wide, and you can probably attach keys here if you want. I'm just gonna drop those in. I could probably put some sunglasses, which I don't have handy right now. All right, there we go. So a little bit chunkier than I would normally like to carry, but this is everything I would need for a weekend. To solve the water bottle problem, there's a couple of options we could do. So this is one option by itself. It's not great. It depends on how active you are, but just kind of let it dangle. It does move a little bit, but you know, that is the cost of just having quick access. So one option is to just take some elastic bands and just wrap it. It's okay as an option. It's kind of annoying to like set it up, but it is secure and you could wear it. So there we go. It fits. You know, it'll swing a little bit, but at least it won't smack someone in the face while you're moving. I have one more water bottle option though. So thanks to Reddit, I did discover this product from Black Ember, which is actually designed for their own backpacks, but you can attach a little external water bottle sleeve. So what you can do is just strap this baby right on. And this is a lot more secure. And there's even another strap, which I won't quite, well, I'll do it. And with 3 points of contact, I mean, this thing is pretty secure. Now the problem with this is that the 32 ounce just doesn't fit. So this bottle does not fit, but a 24 ounce, and this is an Awala, which is, I love this bottle, it's great. It's a little annoying getting this in. It's not like as easy as an external water bottle sleeve, but the right bottle will fit. I think this is a good option. Now again, it's a little dingle-dangly. It's not great, but I do think it's a better option than just letting the water bottle freely hang on the side. So that's pretty good. The other option is to have it right up top, which I think looks a lot cleaner. You kind of maintain that slim profile of the bag, but it does take away that handle at the top, which is kind of a bummer. Again, the lack of a water bottle pocket might be a deal breaker for a lot of people, and I think that's completely fair. For me, I could make it work. This is okay with me. I can still grab it underneath from here. I can also use this massive side handle, and if I put the bottle here, same goes for the top. So there are ways to work around it, and that's all I'm trying to show. You know, I'll call out one more time, I'm not trying to be a bag reviewer. I'm just the kind of person that when I'm making a purchase like this, I spend a lot of time and energy and unfortunately money thinking about these things, researching these things, looking for solutions to the problems like this water bottle holder, and I hope this helps someone. So I'm going to be running with this bag for a while. I'm going to take it to work. I'm going to take it to trips. Maybe I'll do an update. Maybe all of this will just fail and I'll end up with a Wandrd or something else, but we'll see what happens. And let me know what backpack you guys have. I want to hear what you guys got. So, okay, bye. This setup's kind of crazy, right? This is the first time I've ever filmed anything like this. Got the little ZV-1 out here doing the overhead. I mean, it's not quite overhead. I've got the bigger camera over there filming me. I'm kind of happy. I'm happy. The space worked out. This is cool.